Hello, Taurus. So here is your reading. So first up, you have Judgment, Four of Pentacles, Temperance, and then in the reverse challenging position, you have, what is this? The Nine of Wands. And then for the recommended, how do I want to say? The recommended actions, in a sense. That's what I should say. You have the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so I really feel like because to me, the Judgment is in your recent past position for me, the way I have this set up. I really feel like you've been called to do something different. Like you've had like this moment of enlightenment. I always say that this is the card of becoming a zombie. So on this card, the people, they're in their coffins and they're looking up at the sky, and there's like a person with like a I don't know what it is, like a tuba or something. I don't know what it is. And he's looking down at them. But they once were people, and then they died, and now they're zombies. They've awoken in their new zombie life. So it's about, in a sense, going into having a transformation of some sorts. But this transformation typically is something that you want to do. Like some of the other cards, it's almost like forced upon you. But this transformation was something that you want to do. Like maybe this could indicate like you started a new diet regime or whatever. Like you've decided, I'm going to change my diet up. I'm doing something different. So it's something that you wanted to do, but you've had this like moment of enlightenment where like, okay, I got to switch gears. I got to start a new life, because the Judgment is a major arcana card. It represents the larger aspects of our lives. So I feel like you've had this awakened moment, whatever this is related to you, and now you're starting on your new life as a zombie now. No, I'm just joking. As like whatever new life you're starting, but that's just the way I see this card. So, but I think with that, you're being very conservative, because the Four of Pentacles is kind of about like worrying that something's not going to work out, that you're going to have lack in the future, but you're being very conservative, which is not bad. This could indicate that you're being very aware of your finances. Maybe this Judgment card could indicate for some of you that you switched jobs. Maybe you were in one career and you were like, I'm done. This is sucking my soul. And then you switch to a different career that might not pay as much, but you're much happier, but now you're a little concerned about finances. It could be something like that. It's however it is for you, that's the way it is. But for whatever reason, you feel like you might not have enough. So you're really focusing and being very aware of your monetary items at the moment, finances, whatever you have. You're being very conservative and you're being very aware of what's going on within your household regarding that. Now, Temperance is all about having balance. She loves balance. She's always balanced. So Temperance is about being balanced and moderation and everything, and having the perfect blend and having patience and finding common ground with people. Now, the Nine of Wands reversed is really about feeling like you're struggling or feeling overwhelmed or being defensive, but feeling like things are paranoid, like things are not working out well. And I think this Nine of Wands moment that you're having, I think it's triggering this Four of Pentacles, where now you're being like super conservative with however that is for you. If it's financial, if it could be anything, you're being super aware, not wanting to take any risks or chances, because I feel like it's making you're worrying that things are not going to be okay. Now, but with the Two of Pentacles, this is what you should do. This also is about balance. So this is about juggling your responsibilities and prioritizing, but doing it effectively, where you're able to do everything that you need to do, but just doing it in a way where it flows better. So I think I think you definitely had this Judgment moment. I think you've changed. Maybe it's something that you've even awakened to. Let's say, I'm just going to take an example. You were spending too much money on whatever, and then you realize, you know what? I didn't realize how much money I was actually spending on that, and now I have to pull back because you might have like a big trip coming up that you need to save for, and you're like, okay. So you had this awakened moment that like, you know what? This wasn't good for me, or this was a little bit ridiculous. I didn't realize it at the moment. Now I realize, and now we got to kind of start we got to pull back a little bit. So I feel like with whatever a moment of clarity you had, you're definitely being more aware of your resources at this time. But the Temperance for me is saying it's good to be aware of your resources, but balance things out. I think she's here kind of saying that this Nine of Wands could be almost like, it could get in a headspace of like, I don't want to say it's obviously about, could be paranoia, but it could be making you like really, really stress out of something that, stress out about things that are not actually happening in reality, causing you to have like this really tense moment. And she's saying just everything's going to be fine. Just balance it out. You're going to be okay. And the fact that you got for your action is balancing it out as well. So I definitely think you're going to move very nicely and easily through this this card here, this Nine of Wands in your tricky position card, or tricky situation, or whatever you want to call it. I think you're going to kind of be having that moment, realizing that you need to just balance better, so you're going to move forward from that. I definitely think you guys are going to be balancing everything out better. So let's continue. Okay, so you have property. A property purchase or sale for many, but heed security concerns in any transactions. And tough and trying times. Tough times ahead. Think long term and make decisions accordingly. Avoid negative people at all costs. Some of you could be buying a house. For some, this Judgment card could indicate that you wanted to move. You found a house, and now maybe the house, all houses, they have more expenses than what you realize, and you might have to be, it might be stressing you out a little bit, and now you have to kind of do things a little bit differently or readjust, make adjustments, and you're going to do that. So I feel like, even though this is saying tough and trying times, sometimes these tough and trying times are more in our minds. Sometimes it's not so much, it's like fears, like it's not actually happening quite yet in reality, but in our minds, we're like, oh, this is going to happen, or this, I'm worried about this. So this tough and trying times does not actually necessarily need to be based in actual reality. So it might just be something in your mind you're experiencing. It could be based in reality, but it could also be something that you're worried about. Because I feel like with the Four of Pentacles, he's all about worry. And with this Nine of Wands, feeling like you're dropping the ball, like you just don't have the energy, you're just, things are kind of a disaster, things are not kind of going quite right. It could really be feeling like you're going through something really tricky. But yeah, so, and property, this really could be, there's some type of something to do with property or personal belongings. But the property also with the Four of Pentacles, that's all about property too. He's about property. So it could just indicate that anything that you're doing, just be a little bit more mindful of the fine details. But the property here with him, he's all about being aware of, or feeling like he's not going to have enough, so he's saving for a rainy day. So it's not just like he doesn't have enough. He has enough. He's just scared he's going to lose it. So it's just, he's being very aware. He's being very conservative. He's being very aware. So, and that's not a bad thing. That's really not a bad thing. But okay, let's continue. So you have express your love, go ahead and make the romantic gesture, and finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So I definitely think that this could be, for some of you, connected to some type of career. It could have been a change. You could be making less money. Maybe you were expecting a raise or a promotion and that's not coming through. It could definitely have something to do with finances. And then it's really spurring this Four of Pentacles. So I'm going to put him by the Four of Pentacles. But express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. See, I really feel like this is kind of going with this Judgment card. I feel like you guys have some kind of awakening happened where you were on one path and then you were like, you know what? This really sucks. I'm switching gears. I'm doing something different. And I feel like that sometimes is like almost like a labor of love, or it's like, it's more connected to kind of like love in a sense. It doesn't have to be the romantic love, but love of something. So this could indicate that you switch something up because you really find more enjoyment in it. So I'm going to put that right by the Judgment. So, because I feel like this is saying like continue to express that love for, if this is a project or something, whatever this enlightened moment you've had, continue to express the love for it. Even though you might be feeling things are not going 100% correctly, I feel like you're going to find the balance and you're going to eventually have that like balance of everything. And this could also indicate like you need to balance your emotions a little bit too. So like not be so much in your head. That's what I'm kind of getting here too as well. So now let's continue. So you have azurite, get laser focused, leopardite, recall your dreams, and Lemurian quartz. Practice patience. So I feel like whatever this is going to require some patience. I feel like you might be hitting some bumps in the road, but don't give up. Like, it's just, you got to sometimes be very patient. So, and lasered focus. Like, if you're starting on a new journey or new, let's say fitness, whatever it is, you might have to really just, sometimes I know I do this. If I start on something new, I start almost talking myself out of something. Even though I didn't really fully get anywhere 100% yet with it, it's just I start like thinking of all the what ifs. So you might have to just clear your brain, because some of the what ifs could be causing you to feel like you can't fight this battle. Like, what if this? What if that? And none of those are actually based in reality or actually happening at that moment, but you're talking yourself out of something. So I think you just need to stay focused on whatever enlightened thing or whatever change you had made over here. You need to continue staying focused on that change. And that's what that is. And I wonder, because this recall your dreams, I feel like this judgment could be some type of, it could have come up from this enlightenment moment, could be something that you've always wanted to do. So I think sometimes when you're having these moments, you need to get back to foundation, be like, why am I doing this? Oh yes, I've wanted to do this for the last 15 years and now I'm finally doing it. This is what I wanted. This is what I've wanted, you know? So I think you might have to have that moment for yourself of like, you know what, this is really what I want to try. Like, nothing ever goes perfect. Nothing. There's shenanigans running around, you know? You think everything's fine, all of a sudden a shenanigan crawls out of the gutter somewhere. Like, there's shenanigans out there, so you're gonna hit some of the shenanigans. So next up, winter. Sacredness of pausing. Now this card represents having to take a minute and assessing what is not working for you anymore and letting that go. And I feel like you've probably had some of that with the judgment card, because it's all about kind of leaving one way of life and moving on to something different. So I think you've probably, in a sense, yourself like kind of transcended onto something, but you might be still harboring or bringing forth some of the old things with you. So you might need to let certain things go. And this sometimes could even be just certain ways of thinking or expectations. You have to let something go. And scrying, and this is all about intuition. And this is saying that, you know, trust your intuition. Like, sometimes you have to just sit with yourself and just really kind of think about how you feel, or like listen to that little voice in your head. Because sometimes I feel like we have guides. I do feel like we have spirit guides, or whoever you want, ancestors, whatever you want to call them, angels, whatever you want to call them. And I feel like sometimes we have the answers within ourselves, or we have these gut feelings where, like, if we're really stressed out, like, I think my spirit guides have a sense of humor, because every time I'm like super stressed out, I always see the number 420. I know people are like, oh yeah, I see angel numbers. I never see angel numbers. I see 420. Somebody on my side. I got a stoner spirit guide, but whatever works, you know? But I think they're telling me to chill out. I always see it. I always see 420. I'll be super stressed, and all of a sudden the time 420 pops up, the number 420, somehow 420 somewhere comes up. And I believe they're telling me, like, you need to relax. Like, you need to chill out. One step at a time, just chill out with your bad self. So I think, like, sometimes they try to communicate with you, like, and if you don't see angel numbers, don't worry about it. If you see a number that's constantly reoccurring in your life, I knew this one woman, she would constantly find dimes. Apparently her father, who had passed on, he said to her before he passed that if you find a dime, it's me, or something. There's something about him and dimes. And then once he passed, she always started finding dimes everywhere. And she felt like that was him trying to, like, communicate or tell her that, like, he's with her still. So you might see something that you see repeatedly, and it could be something saying that you are on the right path. So I definitely think just kind of be a little aware for some of the little details that sometimes we miss during the day, but somebody might be telling you, like, you are on the right path. You just have to kind of get through this moment that you're going to be having, or you're having, but you are on the right path. So that's what I have to say about that. So then, Night Song, hidden talents. And this is all about having, like, some talent or skill that you don't realize you have. I definitely think that maybe with this intuition card, you're going to figure that out. I definitely think there's some kind of thing that you're good at that you might not realize that you're good at, that could be beneficial to you in this situation. So you'll figure that out. You're going to figure it out. And sometimes you find out what you're good at during the moments of everything's going wrong. You find out, oh, you know, I was actually pretty good at handling that situation or something. You're going to figure it out, Tauruses. Okay. Then you have, I will let no one walk through my mind with their dirty feet. Failure is a bend in the road, not the end of the road. And if you didn't fight for what you want, don't cry for what you've lost. So I feel like this Judgment card, it really had a calling to you to do something different. And anytime we do that, things, you know, the shenanigans, they're out there. And I just think you need to stay. I feel like even this, I will let no one walk through my mind with their dirty feet. I feel like you got to remind yourself that for yourself too, that you shouldn't be walking through your own mind with the dirty feet. You got to take those shoes off. Make sure it's clean. So clean thoughts, good thoughts, positive thoughts only in your mind, Tauruses. And if you hit a bump in the road, if the shenanigan comes out of nowhere, it doesn't mean it's not worth, this wasn't what you should be doing. It just means that, you know, just the shenanigans, the pothole shenanigans are everywhere. But it's probably going to require you to fight for what you want. Because he's about kind of feeling like he can't fight anymore. He just doesn't have it. He feels like he doesn't have it in him. But this is reminding that you do have it in you. Sometimes you just have to push a little bit more. You just have to push a little bit harder. You know, still just stand your ground just that second more to get to where you need to go. So I think you might be feeling that a little bit. But you're going to figure it out. It's going to be okay, Tauruses. Okay, so think of a question for your Magic 8 Ball. We're going to get to that in a second. But first, let us find out what spirit of the dish shall be with you. You got the spirit of the sparkler, which is the soda water, I'm guessing. The Seltzy, which is the carbonated water. So there you guys go. You got the carbonated drinks. Okay, so, and then let's see. What dinner and a movie does the universe recommend for you? Okay, what dinner and a movie for my Tauruses? What dinner and a movie for my... Oh, that one came out. You got comedy and seafood. There you guys go. Comedy and seafood. Okay. And then... Okay, you have got O, A, R, G, U, S, I, M, N, and you got the number 1. And let's see what stones for you. Okay, so these 3 jumped out. Inspire, faith, and believe. Okay, so let's see where we're putting these guys. I feel like Faith is going to go on this this 9 of Wands because he's feeling like he can't do it anymore. He's feeling depleted. He feels like he has nothing left. He has no fight left in him. But you need to have faith that your luck is changing and it's going to be okay. So you need to have faith. So the faith is going with that one. Now, the Inspire, I really feel like is the Judgment. I feel like you had this kind of inspiration moment where you're changing something in your life. So Inspire, you have been inspired to do something, and I think you got to remind yourself why you were inspired to do it to begin with. And you need to believe that it's going to be okay. And the believe, I'm going to stick with the 4 of Pentacles, because sometimes like you just need to kind of believe and have faith in something larger and believe that it's going to work out and you're going to be okay. So that's where I'm putting those guys. And then, okay, here we go. Think of your question, Tauruses. Here we go. Oh, mystical, magical 8 Ball, the mightiest ball of all the balls in the world. What is the answer to Taurus's question? It says, yes, absolutely. There you go, Tauruses. The 8 Ball has spoken. Okay, guys, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.